Yields back. I'll now go to the chair of the Environmental Subcommittee, Mr. Johnson, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and gentlemen, thank you for joining us on our panel today. Lots of important things to talk about. You know, by now, it's obvious that we're headed for a grid reliability crisis in our country. The RTOs are telling us this. The power generating companies are telling us this. I don't have time here today to go through it all, but I'm co-chair of the House Coal Caucus, and we published this 18-page report. And Mr. Chairman, if it's okay, I'd like to ask unanimous consent to enter this into the record.
Without objections, order.
But it lays out warning after warning from the experts and lists the onslaught of federal regulation taking us to this point of reliability crisis. It's a simple math problem. We're retiring baseload dispatchable generation too fast with no adequate replacement. It's unfortunate, actually, that instead of preserving our coal fleet and expanding our gas and nuclear assets, we hear terms like efficiency standards and demand response. Now, my friends, these are code words for telling Americans they need to use less energy. And usually this means also decreasing their standard of living in order to do so. This just is not going to work. We are the greatest economy on the planet, and our economy demands energy security. We simply can't address the myriad of environmental challenges by burdening the American people by telling them to use less electricity. So, Mr. Rodriguez, would you agree that with EVs, data centers, and widespread electrification on multiple fronts, that electricity demand is going to go up significantly in the next 2 decades?
I believe electricity demand is going to go up.
Okay, great. So would it be accurate to say that even if we squeeze as much electricity efficiency as we can out of our country and economy, we would still have to build out new baseload power generating capacity to meet that increasing demand into the 2030s and well beyond?
You and I are on exactly the same page. There's no one single bullet answer that fixes it. It can't just be efficiency. And that's why at the department we're working on things like carbon capture.
All right, so we're going to have to build out new capacity. Next, Mr. Ortiz, you're the director of the FERC Electric Reliability Office. And you've got your job cut out for you. Ensuring our nation's grid reliability is on your watch. I know you take that seriously, so I'll be entering into the record a letter that one of your commissioners at FERC, James Danley, wrote to the EPA saying that when EPA proposed its new source performance standards rule, I quote, the EPA did not consult the commission. This was in regards to electric reliability impacts from their proposed rule. Does it concern you, Mr. Ortiz, at all? Because you run the reliability office. Does it concern you that the EPA did not consult you and your commission on this proposed rulemaking?
Congressman, as you know, I don't know if you know, but there is an interagency review process.
Well, I know, but are you concerned that one of your commissioners said that they did not consult FERC?
Oh, no, I'm not concerned that.
You're not concerned that FERC didn't weigh in? You have the reliability office, so I would think that you would be concerned.
Are you
concerned? Is it true that FERC wasn't able to adequately weigh in before the rule was proposed?
Agencies do not typically get into the business of developing rules in collaboration with other agencies.
Oh, well, that's earth-shattering. Because when a FERC commissioner says here that he wasn't consulted, nor his fellow commissioners, that seems to me to be a breakdown. I mean, how are you supposed to ensure grid reliability, which is your job? How are you supposed to do that if you aren't consulted about rules that are going to affect grid reliability? Are you willing to let the EPA claim that they have your seal of approval amidst all this confusion?
I don't believe that the EPA has made that claim, sir.
You don't think they've made that claim? They said they've consulted with you, and your commissioners say that they haven't.
I would have to look more closely at their.
All right, well, please
preamble,
do
but-
that and get back to us, because I think we need an answer from you, because you're responsible for grid reliability. I'd like to hear back from you. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
June yields back. I'll now go to the ranking member, Mr.